Okay, hello everybody. Welcome back into this episode of Unwritten. My name is Colin McGuire. My co-host Jess. How are you, Jess?
I'm dangerously caffeinated today, Colin. How are you?
Well, that's good. You have a lot of coffee, I'm assuming then.
Yes.
Well, we have a very special guest. It's all about Halloween today, from what I understand. And Spring, I want to make sure I get your name right. Is your last name Giovannelli?
Correct. Very good.
There we go. It's a Halloween miracle. But thank you so much for coming on today. How are you?
I'm good. I'm excited and ready to get this show on the road.
Okay. Well, we wanted to bring you on because you have an event coming up, or at least that you're involved with. And so can you tell us a little bit about the event to start off?
Sure. The Martinsburg Roundhouse Halloween Extravaganza. The whole weekend, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, is all about Halloween, paranormal, many paranormal speakers from Destination America, the Travel Channel. We're excited to have them here, all celebrity paranormal hosts. Ernie Atwell, who is a police officer and paranormal investigator. Dave Seiler, also a paranormal investigator, author, and a radio host. They together formed a group called Paranormal Inc. They work together. What a bunch of nice guys, really awesome. I've known them a few years now. They do very well together. We also have Dan Todd. He's a paranormal investigator, and he is paranormal investigator of the Order of the Exorcists. So that's very interesting. They'll all be doing guest speakers. They'll all be having a small talk. I think the talks are about an hour and 15 minutes long. Ted Van Son, he is a paranormal talk radio host. He is a paranormal investigator, minister, author, singer-songwriter. He has also been on the Travel Channel, Destination America. He was on Paranormal Survivor and The Ghost Nation.
Wow,
those two shows.
Can we just real quick, what is Paranormal Survivor? What is that?
That's a show on, I believe it's on the Travel Channel. If not, it's on Destination America.
Is that like Survivor, but with how does that? Have you watched it?
Yeah, I saw an episode once a couple of years back. It is basically people who have had experiences, maybe a little PTSD, something like that, over paranormal. It's very interesting. This whole field just fascinates me.
Yeah.
I'm not, gifted. I don't have any of these powers, whatever you want to call them, but I find it very interesting.
Yeah. Yeah. Jess, you said you watched an episode?
My mom's real big into all the paranormal stuff. I think her TV is nonstop paranormal and true crime. It's kind of one of those talking head shows, if I'm thinking of the right one, where you have the real person telling the story along with a reenactment of the story at the same time.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah, I think most of those shows are that, except for the ones that you see live.
Wow.
That's
something. So let's jump into this whole paranormal thing. Like, how did you get involved? Are you somebody who follows paranormal stuff?
Well, obviously, I'm not from West Virginia. I'm originally from New York. And we moved here about 6, maybe 7 years ago. And my husband always wanted to scare act at one of these haunted houses. And we happened to meet people who were doing Halloween at the Apollo Theater and said, why don't you come and scare act? So he said, sure, I'll do that. So, I mean, a funny thing that goes along with this, I'm like, okay, great, have fun, not my thing, you know. Oh, you got to come, you got to meet these people. So I was home the first time alone in our new house. And he said, I'm going. I said, fine. He said, come. So I'll come. Let me think about it. And maybe after I clean up after dinner, I'll come down. I had no intention. I don't like being scared. I don't do haunted houses, you know. So he went down there and I was cleaning. I heard a crash. Like, what's going on here? I went to see what fell. I couldn't find anything. So I finished cleaning up. I went to go into the bathroom and the shower was on and all my shampoo bottles were on the floor. I'm like, are you kidding me? I called my husband. I said, you left the shower on. He said, I didn't take a shower before I left. I didn't have the shower on. I said, okay, I'll see you in a few minutes. And I left and I went down to the Apollo Theater and I met a bunch of the most awesome, God-loving people. It was amazing. And we've been friends with them since.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. That's a crazy story. You weren't, I mean, were you sure that nobody was in the house? Like he didn't prank you or anything?
Nobody was in the house. As a matter of fact, my husband didn't believe me. And he was like, get out of here, get out. I said, I'm telling you, the shower was on, the shampoo bottles were on the floor. I didn't do it, he didn't do it. Nobody else was in the house, we live alone.
Colin, you sound like a skeptic. Are you a skeptic?
I'm not a skeptic. No, I find this stuff very, very interesting. It scares me actually. I don't know, Jess, does it scare you?
So my mom is a tour guide of one of the ghost haunted history walks in Charlestown, and I've seen stuff. So I guess I'm scared, but I'm used to it now.
That's was Spring with you. Like, does this still scare you, or is it something that just fascinates?
No, it doesn't scare me at all. I mean, I've had other experiences, just that's the most extreme. You know, my husband thought it was so funny that, you know, he thought I was just paranoid. But a year later, same date, a year later, we were in bed sleeping, 2:00 in the morning. He heard the shower go on and he heard the crash of the shampoo bottles a year later. They say that's residual energy. I'm not so sure. I don't know. I'm not a paranormal or a psychic or anything. I couldn't say. But it did happen a year later. The following year, my husband set up a camera because if it's the same date every year, they say it's residual. So he set up a camera a year later. Nothing has happened since.
Huh. It didn't want to be caught.
No.
Kind of speaking on that, not only are your celebrities doing talks, but you're also going to have some investigations. How are those going to go?
They're going to be awesome. We have another speaker coming in, Robert Murphy, and he's an investigator for residences and businesses. And he's going to be leading the investigations as well as the other speakers I spoke about. Sam Bultrasis, he's a TV radio show host. He's also going to be doing paranormal investigations. And of course, I can't leave out my person who is a very dear friend of mine that I met about I think it was in 2018, that we had a Paracon at the Roundhouse. Lori Johnson of the Ghosts of Shepherdstown. She is on the Travel Channel, Destination America, and she is awesome. Psychic medium. She has helped me so much with this event. I couldn't thank her enough. And she's so thrilled to be doing this for the Berkeley Backpack Program. She has so much gift. It's amazing. It's amazing. She has told me things that nobody would know. Absolutely no one would know. She has her own site on Facebook where she does live readings. If somebody wanted a reading, they can go to her Facebook page and get a live reading. So she'll be there also doing psychic readings, and she will be also leading paranormal investigations.
Go back for just a second. The Berkeley Backpack Program, you said this is benefiting that?
Yes, I started this event so that I could support the Berkeley Backpack Program. I also have 2 craft shows that I ran this year. Actually, the 3rd one is coming up. And we give Berkeley Backpack Program their free space, and I try to give them a donation out of the proceeds from all of our event. So I had this planned for over 2 years. Of course, last year was canceled because of COVID. So this year I had to, really do this big time. And hopefully we'll raise plenty of money so that we can give Berkeley Backpack Program a nice donation and still make a little something for ourselves at the Roundhouse. Because we have many restoration projects going on, keeping the Roundhouse restored, and we have Miller's Tower that we're trying to restore. So that's what we're focusing on. But our basic focus for this event is raising money for the Berkeley Backpack Program. Also with the West Virginia's Children's Society, or the Children's Society of West Virginia, let me put that properly. We have given them as many tickets as they need for the children to come to the children's costume party on Friday night.
That was something I wanted to ask you about. It's not just Halloween with paranormal stuff, but you guys are doing costume parties and making it kind of a family event in that sense.
Yes, the children's costume party, 2 very special people that are going to be there that are donating their time. So talented is Michael T. He's a local author of children's books, magician. He is so awesome. And Joe Santora of the Wonderment Puppet Theater. So they're going to be there to help entertain the children. And we'll have some karaoke for them. They'll have free gifts, food and drinks, lots of treats for the kids in store.
And this is the first year that this has happened?
This is the first year.
Okay, so do you want to do another one next year? Do you plan to make this a series?
Let's see how this one goes. I don't want to guarantee something that may or may not happen.
Okay.
If it goes well, sure, I may do it next year.
There'll be food trucks on site all weekend too. Are many of them tied to the community?
Well, there are not a lot of food trucks. I do have a vendor from Family Affair Catering. She does not have a truck, but she does her cooking on site. And then one food truck from HD Boyd, I'm not sure exactly what it's called, but they'll have a truck there doing funnel cakes and stuff like that. The thing is, this weekend is the food truck show in town. So it was difficult to get food trucks for this event. Yeah, it's
to go around. When you talk about the investigation portion that Jess kind of alluded to earlier, are there things you're looking to find? Will you be disappointed if you don't find certain results with the investigations?
Oh, we'll find results.
Okay.
We'll find results. I have no doubt about that. There are spirits everywhere. Everywhere. If you think about how many people are on the earth, think about how many people died before us being here. They all have spirits. They have to be somewhere. So we all have spirits around us. I do believe that. I mean, if you have a deceased relative and all of a sudden you think of them, and maybe something triggered a thought, chances are that relative is with you in the spirit. I mean, so many times, I'll see a cardinal or a butterfly and think of my mother. Probably that is my mother's spirit, that my mother's always with me, and I do believe that, spirits stay with you. I mean, Laurie Johnson has said she saw my father behind me. My husband, his grandfather's with him all the time. It's amazing. I've had a lot of experiences. One interesting experience, we had a couple come to do a paranormal investigation at the Roundhouse. My husband always leaves before me. He said, stop and pick up coffees. I said, okay. So I stopped. I picked up 4 coffees. He said, don't spill them in the car, because I did that in a brand new car. He wasn't happy. I went to Rocks. I picked up the coffee. I put it nicely on the floor, made sure it was steady. I went down a hill out of the gas station. Coffees were intact. I made a left turn. Coffees were intact. I was stopped dead at a red light. No motion at all in the car. And the coffees flipped over. I saw it happen. I pulled over to the side, picked up the coffees. I got to the Roundhouse. He came out the door. I said, don't ever ask me to get coffee again. So he came, he took the coffee, put it on the table in the Roundhouse. I cleaned up the mess. I came in, the couple was sitting there. I said, hi, how are you? They said, oh, hi, nice to meet you. And as I walked by, cup of coffee went flying off the table. They were like, it wasn't me. Nobody was anywhere near these coffees, and it flew off the table. I still have this stain in the carpet at the Roundhouse to show. Amazing.
Do you guys know of any particular spirits in the Roundhouse, or any history that kind of ties possibly to one?
Kind of, yeah, a few. Upstairs in the bridge shop, there's a lady in white. I don't know who she is. I don't like to say that for a fact, because I haven't seen it. I haven't experienced anything with it, but other people have. There is, they say he's a child who died in the 1800s. His father worked at the Roundhouse in the water tower, and he would go there and bring his father lunch, cross the tracks and bring his father lunch. And one day he was bringing his father lunch, and he was run over by a train. A person who came to investigate at the Roundhouse was walking outside, and any of these people that come to investigate, we don't give them any information. And the woman said, oh, there's a child holding my hand. He died right here. And she was right by the spot of the tracks where that young man died. Happens to be the great uncle of Elaine Mock, our county clerk. Yeah. So that is one that I know for sure. Another one is we had a TV show coming in to record, to film. And there were a few actors behind the Roundhouse. There's a building called the Car Wash. And 2 of the actors were talking, and a friend of mine, who is very gifted, was standing maybe 50 feet away, and she saw somebody walk by them. Later that evening, her husband said, why don't you go into the artifacts room and see if you can investigate in there? And she's like, well, I'm not going to go by myself. So of course he volunteered me to go. And I went, and she looked at the picture. She said, I know him. I saw him. So what do you mean you saw him? I mean, he was old when this picture was taken, and the picture had to be taken in maybe the 50s, you know? So that was amazing. And we had friends come from Virginia to do an investigation, and he's saying, Ernest. I'm hearing somebody say Ernest. Now, I and my husband know that that man that I was talking about, his name is Ernest Schickel. We have the voice recording of Ernest Schickel responding to our friend, asking him questions.
That's really neat.
What is your name? And Ernest says, Ernest. Amazing.
This whole thing it's centered around Halloween. Were you always drawn to Halloween, even growing up, or was this always a holiday that mattered to you?
Somewhat. I can't say no, but I have been involved in other large Halloween parties with 300-400 guests.
Hmm.
Not that I not that I coordinated the event, but I was there to decorate. I would decorate the whole big room for this event. And so stuff like that I would do. Going to costume parties, having my friends come over the house and we all get dressed together and help each other with makeup, that type of thing. And then we didn't do anything for a few years, your life changes, you have kids, and we'd decorate outside the house and my kids would be too scared to come into the house, that type of thing. But we always decorate big for Halloween.
Okay.
Yeah. So then we started this, and it seems to be that I just get drawn to all of these people. And no, they say that I'm a empath, that like I can feel the spirit's feelings.
Mhm.
If somebody died and was suffering, or if somebody feels guilty who is passed, I can get those feelings.
So with everything that this kind of has become, I don't know, do you have a certain level of expectation? Like, is there a certain amount of people you hope come out for the event, that you have a goal in mind?
Well, the Roundhouse itself sits 299 people. So I would like to have 299 people for the adult costume ball.
Okay,
How's that for exact amounts?
perfect. That's perfect.
But you know what? I'd be happy with 200, and
Okay.
we're getting there. During the course of the weekend, because we will be open Friday from 11 to 8, Saturday from 9 to 6, and Sunday from 9 to 4. And I would like to see a couple of thousand people walking through.
Okay.
We'll have vendors set up. I'd like to see them do well. I'd like to see them all donate to the Berkeley Backpack Program.
Yeah, well, we should also say too, and I have this written down, I think, when you say Friday, Saturday, Sunday, that's October 22nd, 23rd, and 24th, correct?
Correct.
Okay, so just in case
Correct.
people are confused, we want to make sure everybody knows that.
Right.
Um,
Friday evening from 5 to 8 is the children's costume party, and there'll be prizes for the top 3 costumes. And with the adult party on Saturday night from 8 to midnight, there'll also be 3 prizes for the best costume. And we've been fortunate enough to get some good sponsors too. City National Bank, Rebecca Linton was kind enough to sponsor us. And Patricia Marin of the RIP Files, she is also a sponsor. So we're, very thankful for them.
Now, Jess, do you have any other questions?
No, I'm good. Go right ahead.
Okay, so we usually finish everything with a couple fun questions.
Okay.
So if you're ready, now these might throw you off, but
All right.
we got a couple. Now I want to start with this because you've talked a lot about costumes. What do you think is the best Halloween costume you've ever dressed up in?
You stole my question, Colin.
I myself, the best costume I've dressed up in would have to be a mummy.
Really?
That was many years ago.
Wow. Did you
Yeah.
get all toilet paper?
No, I took sheets and gauze. I took sheets and I wrapped them around me. I made sure they were nice and dirty, and I wrapped them around me, and then I wrapped myself in gauze. And what I had showing was my engagement ring. So we were at this party and I was sitting at a piano, just frozen, so that I would look like a prop. So if somebody walked up to me, I would move, So my aunt happened to walk by me and I got up and moved. I said, "What's the matter with you? You didn't jump." She said, "I saw your engagement ring. I knew it was you."
sticking with the Halloween theme, what is your favorite trick-or-treat candy?
You took mine.
Candy corn.
I
Candy
love
corn
candy
for
corn.
sure. I
Candy,
go to bed with it on my nightstand at night. I
candy,
watch TV and pop candy corn.
no, candy corn's the worst. That's the worst.
No, kindred spirits right here.
Man, oh man, oh man. Okay, do you have a favorite scary movie?
That was my next one.
Oh my goodness. I would have to say it.
The
See,
original?
right here, you and me.
Movies don't get any scarier than that. I do not like clowns.
Okay.
I have a clown that someone gave me a few years ago when I started meeting all of these paranormal people. And actually, Pat Marin gave us a clown, eyes light up, and totally creeped me out. I will not have it in my house. My husband has it out in the shed.
Look, Spring, you and me, we're girls because it's my favorite too.
No, I'm good. Just keep me away from the clowns.
Kind of veering away from all of it, do you have a favorite restaurant in Berkeley County that you like to eat at?
I have a few. I have to say, I am a fan of Outback.
Outback?
Outback has the most awesome blackberry martini.
Oh,
Now I need to try that.
wow.
That is awesome. I also like the Mexican restaurants.
Okay.
Mhm.
Like Tapita.
Yeah,
Like
Yes.
Tapita.
yeah, the one of the old Shoney's.
Yes. There's one in Spring Mills. I like to go to that one. And there are so many good ones. I mean, I love Katzovitz food. They have awesome food.
Outside of Halloween, what's your favorite holiday?
Christmas.
Are you a big
Christmas.
gift giver?
I have 6 grandchildren. I have to be a big gift giver. I spend a lot of money on Christmas. But what I do now is, because I have the craft shows, which I have one coming up in November 13th and 14th, I'll do most of my Christmas shopping at the craft shows. This way I'm supporting the vendors, I'm buying my gifts,
That's right.
and it works well. And I like to shop local also. So I visit the local stores to do my shopping.
Okay.
Now, Colin doesn't know this, but his last column was pretty controversial here in our office because he said he doesn't like autumn. What's your favorite season of the year?
Wow, I didn't know that.
I would say spring, but I like autumn just for the colors and the,
Colors.
you know, but I'm not too happy when that chill comes in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I've only got one more question. Jess, do you have another one?
No, you can go ahead and wrap it up.
Because I'm just learning that I'm public enemy number 1 in the office.
uh-oh.
I know. So I've asked this question on this show to a few other people, but I'm going to ask it to you because I think it takes on a little bit of a different texture considering your interests. If you could have dinner with 3 people, dead or alive, who would they be?
Jesus.
That's 1.
Ronald Reagan,
Okay. It's 2.
my dad.
All right. That's 3. Can you elaborate on any of them?
Elaborate on Jesus?
Well, not on
How
Jesus.
do you elaborate on Jesus?
I understand Jesus. I understand Jesus. But I'm talking about, let's say Ronald Reagan. We'll just do Ronald Reagan. Why would you want to have dinner with him?
I thought he was an awesome president. I thought he made wonderful decisions. I liked the way he showed reverence, and yet he wasn't cocky about his position.
Okay.
I think he handled it well, diplomatically, with a lot of class.
Yeah. I don't know why anybody would want to be president. That seems like a hard job.
Oh, no, that, I wouldn't want that. That's for sure.
Yeah, me neither. So October 22nd, 23rd, and 24th. Do you want to say one more thing about the event to get people to come out?
We need to support the Berkeley Backpack Program. We need a lot of people at this event. We need to learn more about the afterlife. We need to learn more about spirit. You can hear about St. Michael the Archangel. You'll learn about that. There's a lot to be learned from our guest speakers. I'd like to fill the seats for the guest speakers. There's a lot of interesting stuff. You could get psychic readings, you could get healings, you can answer any question that you have about the spirit world. Any doubts? These people, they're amazing. And we can have a lot of fun.
Yeah,
A lot of fun at the ball.
I know that. I'm going to pick up Jess and we're going to come. We're going to.
No, he won't, because his column said he doesn't like costumes.
Uh-oh. Gotta wear a costume.
I'm never going to live that down. I'm never going to live it down.
I'm gonna have something ready for you that night.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair enough. Thank you so much, Spring. We really appreciate your time. Thank you for coming on.
Thank you for having me. It was nice meeting you.
Nice meeting you.